Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for taking out time and connecting with us this afternoon. And, today, it's an Ask Me Anything style webinar. And the goal is to, share everything we understand about WhatsApp APIs with you and, take up any questions that you might have, around what are these, how do they work, how can you get it for your business, is there merit in getting for your business or not, and anything beyond before and beyond that. So we would kind of, cover all of that today. In Just a little bit about me. I'm Apurva. I've been building in the conversation space for the last 5 years. I currently am building Interact.ai, which is a product, WhatsApp specific product at Haptic. Haptic is a Geo Platforms company. And that's pretty much I think where I want to talk about Haptic or Interact today. The rest of the 20 minutes that we are going to spend today is all going to just be about WhatsApp business APIs, how do they work, and how you can kind of get started for your business. And it's a completely Ask Me Anything style webinar, which means I'll just take around 15 to 20 minutes covering some of the frequently asked questions that were sent to us. And, we come across in our conversations and post that. Feel free to post any questions you have. And, we will take the last 20 minutes to just go over those. If there are more questions even after that, we will kind of take them over email as well. So feel free to ask any questions that you might have. All right. So these are some of the things that I'll cover in the first 20 minutes that we have. I'll talk about, what is this WhatsApp APIs? Is there any merit in it? And, why should you be interested in getting that for you? If it is relevant for your business, how can you kind of get for your business? How should you approach? How are these distributed? And what does the approval process for it kind of means? And and then also kind of touch upon what are the costs that are generally involved around it. And beyond these, whatever questions you might have, we would just post them on chat, and I will start taking them up. All right, so diving into, what are these WhatsApp business APIs? Some of you might have heard about them. Some of you might just kind of be curious that, okay, let's just check out what business solution does WhatsApp has. So broadly speaking, WhatsApp has two solutions for businesses. One is the WhatsApp Business app, and the second one is the WhatsApp Business APIs. The WhatsApp, and both of these are official solutions for businesses built by WhatsApp itself. So the WhatsApp Business app is a very simple to use, easy to get started mobile app that you can download from Play Store or App Store. Download on your phone, do an OTP like you would do for starting a normal WhatsApp account, and you can get up and running with it. It has a few business features that are built into it. Things like you can build like a business profile for your users. You can set up certain automated responses on it, like out of our response that you can kind of put on that. You can see certain. You can also build a catalog in the most recent version there. So there are a few features that are not present in the regular app that are part of the WhatsApp Business app. But like the regular app, it also works only on one phone and with one user. So it's still meant for much smaller businesses because it's essentially still tied to the same phone on which this is installed. But it has a few more message management features that are built into it, which are helpful for businesses who get a lot more queries than we might get in our personal communications. And the second product WhatsApp has for businesses is called WhatsApp Business API, which is what we will deep dive into through rest of the session. Just an overview of what does this WhatsApp Business API means. These are an interface-less solution that WhatsApp gives, and they have one simple functionality, which is that you can programmatically access any message on a particular WhatsApp business API number and programmatically send messages on a particular WhatsApp number. So what it essentially does, if I had to kind of put it a lot more simply, that WhatsApp number now, instead of being tied to a particular app, can now essentially behave like a program which can kind of send these messages programmatically and receive messages on it programmatically, right? And that opens a bunch of applications that can be built on top of it, right? So that's what kind of makes WhatsApp Business API fairly powerful, and the kind of applications that can be built on it. As such, there is no limits to how you could kind of use them, which is connect it to your CRM, you want to automate notifications, you want to put some chatbots to it. It just like opens up all those possibilities, because now you have programmatic control on the messages that this number can send and the messages that this number is reading. Because this is powerful, it's not as easy to get started with these APIs as it is with the business app, where you can just go and download it. It involves a certain approval process, because Facebook and WhatsApp basically want to make sure that businesses who are being given this access to these APIs are legit businesses. So there's like a small approval process to it. And then they've also built certain checks and balances to make sure the quality of communication that is happening on these business APIs is high, to make sure the end user experience is intact, because they're super powerful, and that can kind of lead you to send a lot more messages at scale, and kind of disturb your users or spam your users. So it does come with like bunch of checks and balances and rules around it, which kind of makes it a little complicated to understand what these might be and how a certain business can get started. And that's what my aim today is to simplify, if I can simplify how this works for all of you, right? So, that's basically the two products. Just quickly summarizing the pros and cons of both of these two products. The WhatsApp Business API, like I said, is super simple to get started. You can message any contact at any time. You can also create groups, broadcast to different people, up to 256 users at a time. But the biggest challenge that it ends up, having for, let's say, a business, is that it can only be used by one person, and you cannot really connect it to any other software, and you can't build use cases like of any sort of automation. So let's say if you want something like moment an order is placed on your website, you want to send a notification, or a person signs up on your app and you want to send a notification, all of that's not possible, because there's no programmatic control that's available on this app. But it's super easy to get started for, let's say, a very, very small company, or when you're kind of validating your idea. Just summarizing pros and cons of the WhatsApp Business APIs. It's super powerful in terms of the kind of programs that you can tie to it and the functionality that can be built into it. You can build functionalities of supporting multiple users, build an app to have multi login on the same number. You can also automate your notifications, but the con essentially is it needs a certain approval process to get started. There are also rules around when it is free to send messages on this API, when they will get charged, and also there are rules around the kind of content you can send as notifications on it. So while it's super powerful in kinds of applications you can leverage, it has a lot of checks and balances in place to make sure businesses don't end up using it to harm the end user experience on the main app, right? So that's essentially the two products, and I've tried to kind of make like a checklist of sorts to kind of summarize that, depending on the stage of the business, stage of your business, which of these two might be the right product for you. Essentially, if you get less than 100 queries a day, you probably would be at the peak of what you can manage using the WhatsApp Business app. But if you are above that, it's 100% very, very difficult to, for a one person to be able to respond to those kind of queries, and you're looking for solutions based on the business API. WhatsApp Business app does not let you do too much with notifications. So it's largely great if you want to use to manage incoming queries, or you want to make like multiple groups and kind of send notifications in those groups versus tying it to a different software, website, app that you have. Personalization is also hard on this because to manually substitute, let's say, even things like name for every user in that notification is kind of hard. If you think your business communication can be managed by one single person, the WhatsApp Business app kind of works for you. If you need more, then you're definitely looking for an API. If you're looking to build automation to reduce your response time, and that's critical for your business, again, API kind of is what works for you. And so that's essentially the broad framework in which you can think about that, okay, which of these two is the right solution for me. And in terms of cost, right, the WhatsApp Business app is completely free. The APIs do have a certain charge to it, and just complexity of getting started, right? We will definitely share these slides with you. So you will have this table in case you want to reference it later. All right, so that's basically, what the WhatsApp Business APIs are. Essentially just converts a particular WhatsApp number into a programmatic number so that it opens up a plethora of, flows and applications that can be built on top of this number. But like I said, getting started with them essentially is not as simple as just downloading the app from Play Store or App Store. So I'm going to dive into, what does it mean to then kind of get started? If it is the right product for your business, how can you kind of get that access for it? So broadly, there's like a verification process that's in place for verification and approval process that's in place to get access to these APIs. And the way it works is that, and essentially what you need to do as part of this verification process is submit certain docs to Facebook to, showcase that you are a legit business incorporated in a particular country in which Facebook and WhatsApp operate. That pretty much means almost all countries around the world. There are just 6 to 7 countries in which, these products are not available. So broadly, what Facebook is looking in this verification process is that, are you an incorporated entity in a particular country where they operate, and they want you to prove your relationship with that particular organization. So essentially to prove that, okay, this is my business, here are the legal docs supporting that it's an incorporated identity, and second kind of proof saying that, hey, I am related to this organization. So there's like an identity verification that's part of it. So it's a fairly simple, straightforward process in that sense, but it does need you to have like the right kind of documentation to get approved. Generally in India, your certificate of incorporation, your GST certificate work as proofs for incorporation of your business and entity. And as, let's say, verification of your identity, you can use, an email that is linked to your domain, or, do an OTP on the phone number that might be present in, let's say, your utility bills or your bank records, right? You can do an OTP. So generally you would get these two methods to verify. This verification is done between the business and the Facebook's team directly. And it's done through a product that Facebook has, which is called Facebook Business Manager. And hence step 1 is basically called, getting a verified Facebook manager. But it essentially just simply means that, Facebook wants to understand that you are a registered business entity in a country they operate in. And secondly, that you represent, somebody who, like, you are capable of representing this legal entity. So that's essentially what this verification process means. So before you can get approved for WhatsApp Business APIs, you have to get approved. You need to do your verification with Facebook. This is actually the only time consuming part of getting started with WhatsApp Business APIs. This typically takes around 3 days. But sometimes, let's say, if your documentation has some back and forth, it can easily extend up to 4 to 6 weeks because you might receive certain feedback from Facebook, and then you correct it, and then it can kind of stretch a lot longer. But the typical first response time for this process ends up being 3 days. It is simple in that sense that this is all you need, but there can arise a bunch of complications. We've written certain literature around this as well, which we can cross-reference. Once you're done with this, then the only thing that is between you and getting the WhatsApp Business APIs is WhatsApp's own compliance policy. So there are certain kinds of businesses which are not compliant to get WhatsApp Business APIs, and that's essentially what WhatsApp checks. If you're verified on your Facebook Business Manager, it will take anywhere between 4 to 6 hours for WhatsApp to come back to you whether you're compliant with their commerce policy or not. If they find you compliant with the commerce policy, you can get approved after your Facebook verification is done in roundabout 2 to 4 hours, or we haven't seen anything take more than like 6 hours these days. Kind of things that are not compliant with Facebook's policy are, if your business is selling alcohol, and that does not mean that your primary business is selling alcohol, but it could also include, restaurants that sell food and alcohol. It could also, could include any of, digital subscriptions are not allowed as of today, and there are a bunch of certain categories. The entire commerce policy list can be found on this URL. Now, the only thing I wanted to kind of point out with respect to this commerce policy was that there's a lot of gray area in this commerce policy, it also keeps evolving. So let's say till round about 2 months back, anybody who was in the business of pharmacy or was not allowed to use WhatsApp Business API. But recently, people who build software for pharma companies have been allowed. Till some time back, people in the business of eye care were not allowed, but that's been included recently, right? So there are changes that keep happening with respect to the commerce policy. When I kind of made this slides, contact lenses was actually not allowed. I think they've recently been included. So on this one, our take generally is that, you as a business should not conclude if you will get approved or not for WhatsApp Business API. You should still go ahead and apply for it and essentially see if you get approved or not. Right. So essentially get your Facebook business verification done and then, apply for it. Don't worry too much about the commerce policy. There does exist a commerce policy and bunch of use cases are not allowed. But because it has a bunch of gray area to it, my recommendation would be that you still go ahead and, apply for it and see if your use case went through or not. Right. Now this this Facebook verification process is between you and Facebook, but to apply for WhatsApp APIs, post your verification process is done with Facebook, is done through something known as WhatsApp BSPs. They're called Business Solution Partners. That's what BSP stands for. And there are around about 80 to 100 BSPs around the world. The directory of which is also available on Facebook's page. So once you apply for approval for WhatsApp APIs via them, and they will kind of help you out. I will deep dive into, how you can pick a particular BSP and to kind of, go about it. Just wrapping up, what do you need to get started? Like I said, the major bottleneck in getting this is completing your verification with Facebook. Other than that, you just simply need a phone number that will essentially represent your business on WhatsApp. And you just kind of need to, get it approved to say that, okay, this is my number. This is the name I want my users to, know this number by. And the name essentially should represent your business and show a relationship with the brand that you own. So it's quite simple. It's just like when you create a WhatsApp account, your number and the name you enter is essentially what everybody sees. In case of WhatsApp Business API, there's a small approval process to make sure that the name that you have picked for your number is actually a brand, brand that you represent, right? But for you to apply for this approval, you need to work with WhatsApp Business Solution Partners. And there are different WhatsApp Business Solution Partners that exist. Kind of touching into what will kind of determine what WhatsApp Business Solution Partner that you should kind of go with. So what essentially happens is that WhatsApp has built this WhatsApp Business API solution, and then it's distributed through these partners. Each partner provides a different utility on top of these APIs, and the partner that you should go with is the end utility that you are looking to, get for your particular business. Broadly speaking, you will find partners providing two kinds of utilities. So WhatsApp, if you see, can become a great channel for you to manage your incoming queries. So you will find solutions that help you manage incoming conversations in terms of agent chat softwares, in terms of automation solutions. And the second use case that happens on WhatsApp is being able to send out notifications. So you will find solutions that enable you to automate these notifications and set up like consumer engagement flow. And essentially, your choice of this WhatsApp solution partner should depend on what utility they're providing and at what price point that this utility kind of comes in, right? So yeah, so now kind of, since we said, okay, there's one part of choosing your BSP is understanding the utility they provide. And the other part of understanding the BSP to choose is the pricing. So I'm just going to touch upon, how are these APIs priced? So since let's say these WhatsApp APIs are not distributed by WhatsApp or Facebook directly, as at least as of today, for all WhatsApp API pricing solutions that you will find in market, there would be two components to the pricing. There's essentially a WhatsApp pricing component. WhatsApp charges something, and those charges will be passed down to your business. And then there's a partner price that is part of these products for whatever utility on top of these APIs that they provide. And this utility is because these APIs inherently are interface-less, and they would have built certain interface to provide you a value-add service. Right. WhatsApp's pricing is essentially, fairly slightly different. The way it works is that if a user reaches out to you and you respond back to him, that's defined as something called as sessions. All messages within a session are free, and a session lasts for 24 hours since user's last message. So it essentially means if a user reaches out to you and you respond back to them, then the user replies back again and you respond back to them, there's a 24-hour window that keeps on going. And any messages sent within this rolling window of 24 hours since user's last messages are always free. But if you as a business wants to reach out to a user who has not spoken to you in the last 24 hours, WhatsApp charges for it. And this is a charge directly levied by WhatsApp. And there's a different pricing per country. In India, it comes round about 30 paisa per such notification. So that's, let's say, one component of this pricing that you're looking at. The second component of the pricing generally is the partner pricing, and here you will find a lot of different models that exist in the market depending on the partner's primary business. Like broadly, like I said, there are two different kinds of utility that are present in the market, which is bunch of people providing solutions that are for optimized for sending notifications, and there are a bunch of partners that provide solutions for chat management, and they would have different kind of pricing to it. Typically, solutions that are around notification would surcharge a little bit on top of what WhatsApp charges. So let's say it's 30 paisa. Typically, you'll find solutions that are providing solutions that are optimized for notification will charge a 20% markup on top of it for the APIs that they might be providing. CRM solutions and chatbot solutions, they generally, will have like either a one-time fee and then a recurring subscription, or just a recurring subscription and then charges based on different features you take, depending on the logins that you take on their software, and like, let's say, different kinds of solutions that you might be picking from. The only thing I want to, if there's curiosity around benchmarking against different solutions that exist, I'll get into it. But the only thing I want to touch upon right now is that whenever you decide to get WhatsApp Business API, do make sure you take these from official WhatsApp solution providers. Facebook does put a directory of such providers on their website. I've cross-referenced a link here, so that to make sure that you have the legit solution and your number does not kind of get banned. There do exist cheaper solutions which scrape based on WhatsApp web, but it can be quite difficult to scale business communication with such solution, and also your number constantly runs into risk of getting banned. All right, so with that, I am going to open up. I'm just going to go over all questions that we have received so far. So essentially, just give me a second to look at our questions here. Okay, so the first question that I have here is please explain the 24-hour rule, and can we put out of office messages on this? Right. So essentially talking about the 24-hour rule, the 24-hour rule essentially uh, you know think about like this: if a user messages a business, okay, imagine a clock starting at that point, and this clock is essentially on for 24 hours, okay, and this window moves every time the user sends a new message. Okay, so let's say user sends a message at 12 a.m. Now business responds back. In response to that message, the user sends another message as 12:30. Now the new 24-hour window has basically started from this last message. Okay, now what's the significance of this 24-hour window is that essentially any messages sent by business in this duration are not charged by WhatsApp, and also don't have restriction on the kind of content that you can send to a particular user. So that's essentially what the 24-hour window is. It's a rolling 24-hour window. It starts from user's last message. So let's say you send a message at 12, then it is from 12 till like 11:59 next day. But now you sent a message at like, and by you I mean the end user, he sent a message at 12:30, then it's from 12:30 to 12:29 the next day. So as and when user starts sending different messages, this basically keeps rolling out. I hope that kind of clarifies it. Okay. I'm getting an error. Okay, Mohammed, you've put in a bunch of error codes that you're using. I will need a lot more context around what API you're using and where you might be putting to what particular error codes that you've been receiving. What do they mean? Okay. I can see that you explained. So Mohammed is actually trying to use Interact, which is our product. And his question is that he was using one of our APIs, and then he found an error which said that expecting property name enclosed double quotes line column 144. Mohammed, it looks like either you have spaces in the property that you are sending in. More than two spaces in the properties that you are sending in are not allowed on these WhatsApp APIs. If you can send the exact body that you are sending using these APIs, we can look into it and respond back to you. Okay. There's a question around, are there any restrictions of WhatsApp API's usage for government bodies or regulatory body? So yes, there are. There are restrictions around WhatsApp APIs cannot be used by political parties, and so again, between government organization, there are different kinds of government organizations. The one of the restrictions that's there is that it can't be used by political parties, though there are departments of government that might be allowed. For so like just government organization itself is quite wide to understand. Like I said, anything to do with commerce policy, my recommendation always is to apply for WhatsApp APIs and see if you kind of get through it or not. It has a lot of like gray area in it for somebody to talk about whether you will get approved or not. The second question you had was due to involvement of bot and concern over data security. So you brought up an interesting question here, which is like for these WhatsApp API, what happens around data security? This is where the partner, the BSP that you have picked up to get that WhatsApp API comes into picture. So these WhatsApp API numbers are also end-to-end encrypted. which essentially means, and the way this encryption is done is that the number is essentially hosted by your partner, and they ensure the conversations on this particular number can only be seen by the end user, your partner, and like your business itself. And the data security and privacy policy governing your conversation on this particular number are actually between you and the partner. WhatsApp actually has no access to this data. So when you're evaluating, privacy policy and data security around a particular WhatsApp Business API number, what you need to actually understand is that, what is the privacy policy that the particular BSP you're looking to work with kind of gives you here. Okay, so I have a question here. We recently got our business verified on Facebook. We run our stack on no-code solutions. I wanted to use API to send personalized template messages for notifications as substitute for SMS. How can this be integrated with our CRM via connectors like Integromat and Zapier? Secondly, we noticed that users coming to our site usually have a set number of questions that they want to be answered. So we're looking to add something like an FAQ bot. Again, solutions to do this exist. In fact, Interact can also support, you sending automated notifications by, either using Integromat and Zapier. You can actually check out a blog that we have posted around this, that how you can send out WhatsApp notification using Zapier and Integromat. You could do that. Now, in let's say if you're looking to automate the incoming queries and deploy a bot to it, you will need to look for a BSP that provides solutions of this kind of bot automation. Haptik is one of the solutions that does provide automation, bot-like automation for WhatsApp business numbers. Okay, so there's a question here that we have heard that one loses the number if one chooses to change the BSP. Is that true? Yes, as of today, that's unfortunately true, which means that once you get a particular number approved by a BSP, you can't change that number from one BSP to another. It gets tied to a particular BSP itself. Though, let's say in future, we do expect migration on these numbers will be allowed. And this is just, my personal view on this migration. At least as of today, it's not allowed. But I do think at some point, WhatsApp and Facebook will build for this, and this migration will be allowed. And hence, choosing the right BSP kind of becomes slightly important, because if that end solution that the BSP is providing in the feature sets that they're providing on top of these WhatsApp API don't work for you, you will not be able to move this number. You will need a new number to move to a different BSP. If I'm running a lead generation campaign, can I send automated WhatsApp notification to lead confirming his inquiry when he has given the detail? Absolutely. That's actually a really, really good and successful use case that you can solve with WhatsApp Business APIs, and that can help you, streamline your, sales process, and also kind of, we've seen it successfully increase your contact ratio. If you use WhatsApp notification, post somebody fills inquiry form on your website, and instead if you were to give him a call versus if you were to send a WhatsApp notification, so you can absolutely do this. It's again one of the use cases we definitely support on Interact. There could be other solutions that support this as well. Okay. I have a question here which says that, can we have a demo of WhatsApp customer chat interface? Like I said, WhatsApp Business APIs actually don't have an interface. If you're looking for, demo of, certain interfaces, they will differ from, partner to partner with whom you're looking for a solution. If you want to check out the product that I'm building, you can go to www.interact.ai. I will just, share. This is the website. We have our demo video kind of put there, and you can check that out there. Okay, I have a question. What are the features of WhatsApp API? So WhatsApp API inherently just has one feature, which is that particular number can send programmatic messages programmatically, and can receive, the messages received on that number can be sent back programmatically, right? Beyond that, any features that are built are essentially built by partners. So let's say, if if on top of this there would be a company like Haptic that would have essentially built, let's say, a chatbot. There would be a company like Interact which has built like a shared login, shared team inbox, and like an automated notification kind of solutions. So the WhatsApp API at its crux is interfaceless and has only one functionality, which is that you can programmatically send messages and receive messages. It has a few features which can be leveraged, which are different, not available on the other two apps, which is like ability to have interactive messages. You can have messages which have buttons in it, and could have quick replies in it. But WhatsApp Business APIs by themselves are very raw and just have like singular functionality or programmatic access to messages. Interface and everything are, basically depends on what different solution providers provide. Okay, can we send festival wishes to users? Will that template be allowed by WhatsApp? It's definitely a very interesting question. And I'm sure, Ankur, you've tried using WhatsApp Business APIs. So per guidelines of WhatsApp Business API, promotional content is not allowed. Only transactional content is allowed. There are certain templates via which you can send out festival wishes. The only thing I would, kind of point out here is that WhatsApp Business API numbers are super sensitive to spam reports. If your users report your number to be spam, WhatsApp does downgrade your rating and it can impact the number of notifications you can send out. So, as long as you think the communication that you are sending to your users is of high quality and it's not going to be regarded as spam by your users, yes, it might be possible to send out festival wishes. For partner pricing, how are the upfront fixed costs for chatbots beside the per messaging charge? So, pricing will differ from partner to partner. Like in terms of fixed costs, like at Interact, we do zero fixed costs and only do a simple subscription of 999 because we wanted to make it super simple for you to kind of get started and not have like a lot of, barriers to it. But essentially the fixed costs can actually go anywhere between, from what I understand in the market today, anywhere between 10K to 50K to like 1 lakh, 2 lakh, depending on, what value add service that you're buying on top of it. Even between, chatbot solutions, from simple chatbots to extremely complex NLU systems that you deploy, the cost can vary a lot, right from 10,000 to like 2 lakh. You could look at anything, and it's a fairly large range. We could do a specific webinar just on which is different BSPs and different solutions that are present here. But the range itself is like quite big. Vivek, you can feel free to drop an email to us on your use case, and I'm happy to share different solutions that are available here. In your utility, do you have inbuilt CRM or lead management software? So I'm guessing by my utility, you mean Interact. Yes, we do. We have a mini CRM that's built in. And we also, let you build different workflows for lead management using tags, notes, and, manage their different states. And we have certain APIs that helps you, match the status that is visible on Interact with something that might be, let's say, available on your website. Can we send promotional messages using WhatsApp APIs? The answer is no. Promotional messages as of today would be in violation of the WhatsApp policy for business APIs. Though between transactional and promotional, there's a whole gray area in between. So let's say think about an e-commerce use case, sending a coupon that the user wants or had requested for it. Is that promotional or transactional? There are a lot of gray area use cases as well. If you have a specific use case in mind, do share with us, and we can let you know if that's something that you'll be able to accomplish with it or not. So thing is, like with policies, whether it's commerce policy or your messaging policy, there's always a lot of gray area. It's not a very black and white thing. Outrightly promotional messages are not allowed. I can definitely say there are ways of doing it, but because WhatsApp is so sensitive to spam reports and that can lead your numbers quality to suffer, the only thing that you want to be super careful when you're using WhatsApp APIs is that you use it to send out meaningful communication. Now in your flow, whether that's promotional, transactional, is quite secondary, but to kind of be sure that you are sending sending out meaningful communication using this. Should we use same number that we want to use as WhatsApp API number as the business manager number? Deepak, I'm not very sure what you meant here. So if you could rephrase this, I'm not very sure what you mean by business manager number. If you could rephrase this, I'll take this back again. Okay, there's a question here. What is the minimum number of messages per day at which these chatbots might be viable, considering the fixed upfront cost? That's an excellent question. So like different technologies and solutions make sense at different stages of the business. So essentially the way for you to benchmark is like, let's say, cost of setting up an operations to respond back to messages, and the quality that you get outside of it versus replacing that with a machine to automate it. Benchmark ballpark, if you think you receive more than 10,000 conversations in a given month, that might be the right time to start thinking about automating it. The reason is that if your scale is below that, there's also a chance that you probably might not have enough repeating queries to actually automate them effectively. So ballpark around 10,000 monthly conversations, which roughly amounts to 1,000 odd per day, is the scale I would think that ROI for automation solutions starts to come in. How is it possible to send transactional messages on day-to-day basis? So WhatsApp API provides you a way of doing this. Now, the kind of schedulers that are available will depend on the solution you use. So just taking an example of Interact, it's possible to set up different rules in terms of okay, if this happens on my website, send out this message automatically. So you can kind of do that, and you could build different flows if you are an e-commerce company, tie it to your order placement flow. If you are a different software, you can define at what touch point you want to send out these automated notification. And once you set these rules with, let's say, a software like Interact, they just keep on going automatically. I have a question here. Does Haptik offer direct access to WhatsApp API? So we do work with a few solution providers in form of for partnerships for WhatsApp APIs, but for let's say most of our clients, it's essentially what they consume is the end product that we have built on top of WhatsApp APIs and not directly the WhatsApp business APIs. And that gives you a lot more, time to market, because our core business is being able to manage conversations and being able to, build agent chat softwares and being able to automate it. So that's essentially what we sell and not necessarily the WhatsApp business APIs itself. But if you are, let's say, looking for a partnership opportunity, in that case, that might be a possibility. You can write to us, and we also have a partnership form on our website. You can fill that up and the team will get in touch with you. All right. Mohammed, I'll not be able to look at the curl request here. I request you to email or send it on our support and we'll pick it from there. It'll not be fair for me to keep others waiting to look at the error that you might be receiving. Okay, I have a question from Abhishek here, which says that I'm associated with a fitness company, and to analyze the workout data from all our clients, we ask them to share screenshots of their activities from various apps like Strava and Fitbit. Analyzing and comparing data becomes tough. Analyze the screenshot or the data from these cities. Definitely a very interesting use case, Abhishek, but we don't do computer vision as of today. In fact, today, at least in the product that's live today, you can't take these images on API as well. We do plan to build this a quarter from today. And in that case, you'll be able to take these images and connect it to your computer vision software and analyze them. But we do not, as a company between Haptik and Interact, we don't invest in building computer vision technologies, but we will invest in enabling you to take these images programmatically and then, connecting it to computer vision solutions. If any user interacts on WhatsApp API, will the credential of the user stored with any partner, and can WhatsApp API redirect customer to a particular portal web page link for additional information? Um, Anas, that's correct. When you take a WhatsApp Business API number from a particular partner, your data is hosted by the partner. The privacy policy of this number is now governed by the privacy policy that you have with the partner. And if that's something that's critical for your business, I would recommend checking out what's the privacy policy and the data storage policy of the partner that you're working with. There are different kinds of partners who provide right from cloud hosted solution to on-prem solutions for different application and data and security privacy need that you might have. um, are there any specific support for NPO? What is the most economic way to broadcast messages to NPO members? I'm extremely sorry, but I don't know what NPO stands for. So if you could elaborate, I will circle back to this question. Can we send messages of our new products or events? Yes, can you send? The answer is yes. But going back to something that I said a couple of minutes earlier, you want to use WhatsApp for relevant and priority communication because of two reasons. One, it is charged, so let's say at a 30 paisa charge. Secondly, WhatsApp is super sensitive to spam reporting. So if you think the communication that you are sending out is relevant for the end users, you'll definitely be able to send out. Like you must have seen, we did send out notification regarding this webinar to a bunch of users who signed up or interacted with us in the past. So we used it, and we've been using that for these kind of communication. But the only thing to maintain at that point is you want to send it to users who might find this relevant, and not buy a database. And then because it's important to understand that WhatsApp is quite sensitive with spam reports. Are messages around communicating class and seminar considered transactional or promotional? We have seen a lot of users do this. Now, if you send to users who've actually signed up for your class, it's transactional. If you're trying to send it to users who actually never showed interest with your product, it becomes promotional, right? So it's not so much about the type of the message that's present. It's actually a combination of the type of the message and who you are sending to, right? So if I have not expressed interest with your business, and now you want to send me a reminder of a seminar, and I have no, I never opted in for that, it is definitely promotional. But I opted in for it, and now you're keeping me aware of it, then it essentially becomes transactional. Mohammed, this is, my email address is apurva@interact.ai. I will put that on the chat also. You can, I'll not be able to help you debug the exact error codes that you have here. You can also find a support number within your Interact account, and we'll help you out with that there. Can we use the same number which is used for SMS communication? That is the same mobile number for both WhatsApp and text message? Absolutely. You can also use the number that you might be using for your IVR solution. Any phone number that can receive an OTP can be converted to a WhatsApp API number. Now you might be using that to send SMS. You might be using it for your IVR solution. You can do all of that. The only requirement of the number that you associate with WhatsApp Business API is that it can receive OTP. If a power distribution company or a regulatory committee wants to promote a scheme, address queries and raise awareness in the company, can they use API or are there restrictions? Unless from what I can understand, it should be allowed, but I'll have to understand a little bit more on, what you mean by promotion of scheme. Addressing queries is a support use case, which definitely should not have problem, but I'll have to get a little bit more deeper to understand what you might mean. Okay. Okay, I've got clarification on what NPO is. It's a non-profit organization. So just give me a second to go back to your question. Are there any specific support for NPO? What is the most economic way to broadcast for NPO members? There are no special pricing that exists for different category, businesses. The pricing is, same. we've seen different use cases from NGOs and NPOs on it. One of my favorite ones is by an NGO called Digital Green, which used, to manage their Anganwadi programs in different parts of our country, and they use our solution to broadcast weekly content on it. The pricing, still remains the same, but we've seen some of these use cases specifically because of the lockdown and inability to reach the last mile in India be fairly successful on WhatsApp APIs. Okay. Mohammed, Smita has just posted the email address there. You can use that to get in touch. You can also use this WhatsApp number that I put in here, and we can answer that. I hope we've gone through all questions. I will just circle back from the chat as well in terms of if there are any questions that have been missed. There's a question which says Interact has Shopify integration. Will we be able to set post-transaction campaign automatically whenever we receive an order? That's absolutely right. Interact has Shopify integration, and you'll be able to automate this. In fact, you need to not do anything. Pretty much, it gets enabled the moment we enable the integration for you. Can you explain Interact pricing? I will do that shortly. Just give me a minute. I'll just wrap up all generic questions and get to Interact pricing in a minute. We like to connect our firm through phone call or Google Meet for personal discussion. I'm not sure if this is the full question, but if you could add a little bit more details to it. Typical timeline for creating WhatsApp channel and approval process. Like I said, the timeline is pretty much the time you will take to get your verification done with WhatsApp. So with Facebook, it can take anywhere between 3 days to a couple of weeks for you to get that. Post that, generally it's let's say under 1 to 2 days of going live. Deepak, you have requested for a call. It will not be feasible for us to call, but you can have a WhatsApp number here and send in your queries there, and we will definitely look forward to answering those. So let's say we are setting up a campaign for a particular list of contact. My understanding is that for every message, we will incur 30 pesos. That's absolutely correct. For every message that you send to a user who's not spoken to you in the last 24 hours, you will be charged 30 paisa. Kavil, like I said, Shopify integration is already in place. We can get you up and running anytime you're ready to go live. Can we send customized greeting and wishes? Yes, you can. Again, like I said, it's in the gray area in terms of promotional and transactional content that's allowed. If you're looking to send something, just run it by our team on our WhatsApp number, and we can look into it. Okay, Himanshu has a very good question here. Can WhatsApp API numbers be used only for one-way communication? It will impact the rating of your number. And WhatsApp has also started building guidelines where they need every business who takes the WhatsApp Business API number to provide the right escalation path for a two-way communication. So if you're looking at WhatsApp, I would very, very strongly suggest that you look for both one-way and two-way communication. The whole strength of WhatsApp in a platform, and when you want to leverage for your brand, is in the fact that you are able to use it for both one-way and two-way communication. Okay, what is WhatsApp's policy around health-related conversations between clinic patients or their general queries? Very recently, healthcare use cases have been approved. So essentially, in terms of getting approval for WhatsApp APIs, if you are anybody who's building software for healthcare workers, you are likely to get approved. Now, essentially, whether what happens with your data and all of this really depends on the solution that the partner is providing. So if you need any sort of compliance for the business that you are in, and you need the software that you use to be compliant, then I would highly recommend that you check out the the partner and their product that they're giving. Is that compliant? So for example, Interact is not hyper compliant, and we do not recommend it to be used for these use cases, specifically if you're servicing outside India. We will email, this deck to everybody. Okay, there's a question which says, keen to understand if this supports a phone call, video call to contact center through WhatsApp call. As of today, neither the regular WhatsApp call or the video calls are supported on WhatsApp API numbers. It only supports chats as of today. We also don't have, any visibility into if it will come anytime soon. The normal phone call will definitely be supported, so you can make it this work in conjunction to your IVR solution. But WhatsApp calls and API video calls are not supported in the number, and it's essentially on the end user's phone also itself. It will communicate that this is not supported here. All right. And okay, is a question, are there any limit to the number of login devices for API on the same number? How many members of the team can connect? Again, it depends on the solution that you're using. And I think because there have been like bunch of questions around pricing of Interact, what I'm going to do is quickly just jump into the feature set that Interact has, and the pricing around that. So on Interact, we support unlimited logins. We've recently launched this product. We launched our first version back in November, and we've launched our formal plans in January. Our product supports unlimited logins, so you can create as many logins for your teams as you need. Our base subscription fee is $999. There is no upfront fee, but there's a monthly subscription of $999, and we charge WhatsApp charges on actuals. And the way our billing or the usage kind of works is that it's based on unique users you use Interact to manage in a particular given month. There are 22,000 unique users that are inbuilt into your $999 pricing, and there's a small overusage fee if you kind of cross that. So this is how Interact's pricing works. There's a monthly minimum commitment of $999 as which is our subscription fee, and that's how at least our pricing kind of works. And what happens here is we get you the WhatsApp Business API approval. Your billing starts only once, let's say, your business is approved, and you're ready to go live. Once you are ready to go live, after your approval is when your billing will start. It will be a minimum, it's a monthly subscription of $999, and whatever WhatsApp charges that kind of come in, those are charged on actuals at the end of the month. We pass on it penny to penny to what WhatsApp would have charged. I hope that answers all questions around pricing of Interact. If you want to look at, let's say, our features, you can go on our website and go through it, or feel free to reach out to us on this WhatsApp number 702151235, and we'll be happy to showcase the features that we have. All right. Okay. I think it's potentially the last question here. My client uses an offline billing software. How do I connect your API into the system? Santosh, if you will go on our website and go to our resource center, there's our entire API documentation that's present. And you'll be able to kind of understand from there that if you have a billing software, how can you go about, connecting that there. So you will find your answer there. You can definitely connect your billing software to send out automated notifications, or in fact, when somebody is chatting if you're using WhatsApp for customer support use case, if you want to send the context of, your product, as in like, if this is a subscriber, not a subscriber, payment is due, you could kind of definitely, we have APIs for you to send all of that information to us. All right, we are definitely way above, the time. I didn't kind of realize, but it was great chatting with you. I hope I took all your questions. If there's anything that kind of got missed, you can reach out to us here. Smith also put my email address. It's apurva@interact.ai. I'm going to just type that in again. And happy to answer your questions. I did see a bunch of you want to understand what are different solutions that might be present, and you can definitely check out what we are building on Interact.ai. We'll try to do another webinar shortly where we'll at least try to put out different solutions that exist and how you could pick for your particular business. Right, thank you, everyone. All right. If you have any feedback, we will send like an email post the session. Please feel free to send there. If you have suggestions on what other webinars we could do, do share that with us as well.